One of the things I love about teaching the prophets class is that it gives us an opportunity to understand the context of prophecies that we find in the New Testament regarding Christ that might otherwise seem a bit obscure to us. And one of the examples of that I enjoy is the Advent prophecy with respect to the birthplace of Christ, so where he's actually going to come from. Most of us know the story in the New Testament about the birth of Christ, and how it is he is born in Bethlehem. And so Herod goes and asks the scribes and the chief priests, where will the Messiah be born? And they reply that he is going to be born in the town of Bethlehem, quoting a prophecy. But where does this prophecy come from? So if we look, the prophet in question here is the prophet Micah. And Micah goes and writes around 700 years before the birth of Christ. Now, the context of Micah is called by God to hold Israel and Judah to account for their sins and their violation of the covenant that he has made with them. And so because of that, if you pick up the book of Micah and start reading it, it's not the kind of source that you would anticipate finding a happy prophecy in from when you start. Chapters 1 through 3 in Micah you could characterize them as they're mostly a total bummer, in that it's almost all detailing the total corruption of the nation up to this point. Then after this proclamation of destruction, you have something very unexpected happen. Right after this proclamation of judgment, the very next words at the beginning of chapter 4, you have a prophecy about something that is going to happen in the latter days. And it shall come to pass in the latter days that the mountain of the house of the Lord shall be established as the highest of the mountains, and it shall be lifted above the hills, and peoples shall flow to it. And many nations shall come and say, Come, let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, that he may teach us his ways, and that we may walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. So how do we get from the judgment in Micah 1 to 3 to Micah 4, where there is a reversal so that this previously corrupt nation is now having its temple lifted higher than any other mountain, and that you have this holiness which is now present in Jerusalem, so that all the nations go and turn and flock to it? So this is the context for Micah 5, which is the passage that's read to Herod and which shows these promises as coming true in the Messiah. But you, O Bethlehem Ephrathah, who are too little to be among the clans of Judah, from you shall come forth for me one who is to be ruler in Israel, whose coming forth is from of old, from ancient days. Therefore he shall give them up until the time when she who is in labor has given birth. Then the rest of his brothers shall return to the people of Israel. And he shall stand and shepherd his flock in the strength of the Lord, in the majesty of the name of the Lord his God. And they shall dwell secure, for now he shall be great to the ends of the earth, and he shall be their peace. As we think about Christ's advent this Christmas, we thank God for his faithfulness to his promises to Israel, and how it is that he has lifted Jerusalem high, and that he has called the nations to himself, and how he has sent his law forth from Zion, and he has called us to peace.